Hey guys and girls, well, clean windscreen means one thing. That means it's been driven for the first time since I got the car. Literally 1 year ago. 1 whole year I've had this car. The first time, literally in 1 year, almost to the day in fact, it has been driven. It's moved under its own power. Which means that the coolant system is running. It also means that the hydraulic system is kind of running, besides some hose bursts here and there. And yes, very, very good. I'm quite happy with it. Right, where should I start? Yorick, my man, you are a very, very kind person for giving me that circuit, that coolant circuit. That's helped me out no end, because it enabled me to figure out how I pipe in the oil cooler, or coolant heater, whatever you want to call it. I call them an oil cooler because that's what they are. It enabled me to figure out how that pipes in. Because this particular thing here does not have a outlet on this side of the thermostat for the oil cooler, I had to improvise and use a T-piece, which thankfully I found on a scrap car. Beauties of working in a scrapyard. I love it. So that is good. So that means I've got my oil cooler plumbed in. I have got all of my suspension spheres on. Funny story about it actually. Right, sorry about that. My colleague decided to come in and have a talk with me. It's quite good because he doesn't really talk to me much. So he decided to have a little bit of a talk, which is great. Socialising with the work colleagues. Anyway, where was I? Yep, coolant system's good. Hydraulic system, let's move on to that now. That leaked. And the accumulator sphere, well, I kind of forgot to put that on, which made it out. And now my, well, let's just put it this way, my compressor, my refrigerant compressor for the air conditioning system is very well lubricated now, because it just had lots of high pressure fluid hit it, probably about 300 bars worth of pressure. It didn't spray out like but it was coming out like a little bit. Yeah, I don't care. I'm just a bit upset that all my LHM decided to leak, but that's the only thing that upset me. That's on now, that doesn't leak anymore. It did leak, but it doesn't leak anymore. Basically what leaked with these was the damn seals. I put them in, but it must have nicked the seals and put them in a bit skew width. But they're in now. So anyway, yes, I had multiple leaks on the front, even the hydraulic pipe that goes from the pump into the pressure valve thing, that leaked. But I managed to fix those leaks. What else leaked? This line here, this horrific line here, this is the line that burst off the first time I actually got the car. This is the one that is a return from, I think it comes from the height corrector, I think. And what that does is, obviously when I got the car running, the suspension lifted up, and it's the first time I've ever seen it with the suspension lifted up. It looked amazing, it was really good, although I have got to sort out the height of the back of the car because it's completely off. So I've got to obviously fix that. Hopefully that should be easy enough. Just turning that, undoing that clamp and then turning it. Shouldn't be too hard to do. Where was I? Okay, you can see where I wheeled it in, and then it was too far over this way, so I got the fork truck and just lifted it up on the tow bar and just pulled it across. Some space. Yeah. Oh man, I really wish I had a fork truck at home. They make life so much more easy. I think that puddle is getting larger, even though the tank is now disconnected. Oh, screw it. I'll sort it out next time I'm in. But yeah, that pipe burst. And that pipe, it goes from a rubber pipe, and then it goes to a steel pipe that goes all the way down to the front of the car. And that's the pipe that releases the pressure from the back end of the car when you put your lever into the low position. And all the fluid that's stuck in your pistons and whatnot in the back, that all goes through that one pipe and then to the LHM tank. However, in this instance, it decided to go, nope, I'm just going to burst the pipe or blow the pipe off, which is what it did first, and I put it back on again, did it twice, it did it up twice as hard, and then it just decided to blow the silicon pipe up, which means I've now got to change the pipe for something else, which it's not too fussed about, but I'm considering actually installing a larger pipe because it's a lot of fluid that has to go down through that pipe. So I think what I'll do is I'll put an 8mm one on, and I may even route it the other side of the car, just so it's closer to the LHM tank that way. Still, it shouldn't be hard to reroute the pipe. I may even leave the original pipe in situ, just because I'm too lazy to remove it. But someone's getting a bollocking. Probably someone driving the wrong way around the roundabout, no doubt. They do that a lot here. What else? Electronics all work fine. Electrics are all good. I say that the fans don't work, but I'm pretty sure that's because I've got them plugged into the wrong thing. I don't think that's right. But oh well. They appear to all work good. What else? What else? What else? What else? That is about it, really. No leaks from the fuel system, which is good. Just that leak in the hydraulic system there. I've got a few drips under the car. Have I got my torch handy? If I have my torch handy, which I do not, I don't know where the hell I've put my torch. I don't know where I put my torch. It'll turn up eventually. Oh, is it in the? Ah, it's in the car. Look, I knew that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Here you go. This here is the turbo controller, which I've got to wire in actually at the moment. I've got to sort out. The wiring up shouldn't be too hard. You just put it to an ignition live. But I've got to get a vacuum pump for the car, an electronic vacuum pump. It's got a vacuum pressure sensor there to detect how much pressure there is in the vacuum lines. You have a nice little control box which everything plugs into, and you have a lovely control which is made out of pure aluminium, which is quite nice, snazzy. That sits on your dashboard somewhere. I'm going to put it above the steering wheel, I think. And the cool thing about this is you can manually adjust different boost pressures, so you can have one set up for sport, economy, or whatever. But I'm just gonna, get it running, which is all I want it to do really for now. I'll play about with it when I've got it running. But yeah, I'm happy with that. That was, I think it was like 150 quid's worth of kit. That boost pressure controllers are not cheap, especially electronic ones. But like I say, I've got to get a vacuum pump for it. I'm going to get an electronic vacuum pump from off an Audi or a Volvo, whatever. And I'm going to hide that in the engine bay somewhere, maybe here behind the battery, in this little bit of a space here. I've got a nice mounting stud there. I could mount it to, just there sticking out of the. Oh, there you go. You can see it now. Just there sticking out of the bulkhead. I could mount it to that with what looks like a 10mm bolt maybe. Yeah, you may notice that I've got my LHM line disconnected. That was when I was driving the car in. I decided to unplug that and not use the hydraulic system at all because of the leak. There is, like I say, a few drips underneath the car from LHM, but I'm hoping it's just because I've not tightened up unions enough. We'll soon find out. What else is there to tell you? How long have we been talking to? 7-8 minutes pretty much. Guys, I think it's only going to be a couple of weeks until I get this pretty much going now. Maybe 3 or 4 weeks. The progress I made today was quite considerable. I didn't expect to get the car lifted today, but it has. My next job, of course, is to sort out the hydraulic leaks which would hopefully be fairly simple. Get the car jacked up again on its side, like in the middle somewhere, jack it up. Wheels under the tyres, and we'll find out how I can reroute that pipe and change the pipe, preferably. I would like to change it for a solid piece of polyurethane pipe, which is what I'm using on everything pretty much. All of my my lines here are polyurethane, apart from the exception of that one silicone pipe there, which I've got to change because obviously it's not oil proof. It will eventually eat away at it. The LHM will. But it was only there as a temporary kind of thing. What else? Yeah, get them leaks just tightened up a little bit. Sort that bloody leak out, which was the pain in the arse leak I had before the car. If you look back in one of my first videos, I think it was, of this car, you'll see there was a lot of fluid spraying all over the back box of the car. Well, this is that same pipe that's gone. Only instead of it being up there, it's now at the side where I rerouted the pipes. You have to excuse me, my hay fever is pretty bad. Yeah, that's it. I've blanked off all the air intake systems, one for the turbo there. I could do with doing the exit for the turbo. I got the lines, sadly, the wrong way around, which is a bit of a shame. That is my air intake pipe, the crinkly one, which is not ideal, but unfortunately that's what I've got to deal with. And the little pipe there, that is my the feed to the intercooler, which again isn't ideal because it's in the wrong bloody place. The pipes could do a bit the other way around, but unfortunately I couldn't do that with this particular turbo, given the way that it was. Of course the turbo comes out as a right angle. I've got to do it this way. So somehow I've got to twist them pipes around or reroute this air line somehow around the back of the engine to here somewhere, where I can get the airbox in, if I can still get the original airbox in, that is, because this pipe work here for the radiator is in a completely different place now from how it should be. As much as I absolutely despise cone air filters, it may have to have one chucked on there. For now, until I can find an airbox that will fit in the space. Keep in mind, I've not yet done anything with the airbox yet. I've not even offered it up or anything. So we'll see. We'll see. Headlights, I've done nothing with them yet. I've still got to do something with them. I've got to get that glass ground out. Which is a job I really need to get sorted, actually. Other than that, it should be about right. Say, I would have thought the engine would have stopped hunting and shunting by now. I don't think there's air in the system. I think it's pump timing that's a bit off. At least it stopped the knocking, it does. From my running it yesterday, or probably last week, leaving it to sit, I think, and letting the oil soak in. And I did do a little bit of a spray WD-40 down the air intake, which I said I was going to do. I sprayed a little bit of WD-40 down the air intake last week. Ran it for a second or two just to let it suck it in. I think that's helped. Don't think it's done much, but I think it helps because obviously now it's not, the valves aren't sticking, which is good. Like I say, it's all good. Anyway, I've talked enough, haven't I? So, yep, I will catch you all on the next video, and hopefully I'll be further on in the progress of this vehicle. Just to let you know, this is actually, the day has passed this time last year when I actually bought the car. So I bought the car this time last year, about 4 days ago, 4 or 5 days ago actually. So there you go, I've had the car a year, and this is the first time it's moved in a year, so whew. And I am covered in LHM. I ain't joking. My hair, I look like I've got wet look hair gel, because when I was under the car it was dripping, and it was bloody dripping too, and I got absolutely covered in the stuff. As you can see outside, you look at all that. Let me get this zoom working. Look at all that spillage there. LHM spillage. It's probably about 20 quid's worth of bloody LHM there gone down the drain. Well, hopefully not down the drain, because I've caught it before it goes down the drain, but, you know, money wasted, put it that way. Yeah. Anyway, guys and girls, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all on the next video. Peace out.